Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Bloons Tower Defense 6. In this episode I'm gonna do the daily challenge, which this time it's actually hard. Like, it's literally hard mode with the alternate balloon rounds, and it's basically what I would normally do, except this time they limit the towers that I can use, so that, you know, makes it more challenging or whatever. Which, on one hand, it does make it more challenging. On the other hand, I'm sure they tested to make sure that you can beat it with these towers. And I mean, I'm sure most towers can beat the game or whatever. So in one sense, it's actually kind of a benefit, because then I know that I have to use towers that are decent, I guess, if that makes sense. The biggest factor is me needing to use open with that bush to get the camo balloons, because I don't think it is possible for you to get camo detection that early, like on the second round. Like, that's crazy. But it's not even really real camo detection, it's just laying down some spikes basically. And I'm assuming they expect you to use your powers or just monkey knowledge, I guess. I don't know, it's kind of interesting to think about. But anyways, so I'm starting off with Open and a Wizard Monkey because I don't really like any of the other towers. I mean, obviously I'm going to be using all of them because I want to get a good, well-rounded defense, and those are the only towers I can use. But I'm getting Monkey Sense because I know that there's a lot of camo balloons in the alternate rounds mode. So I need some camo defense, and I did try this before. Like, it took me like 3 or 4 attempts to beat it, and one of the attempts I tried using the Spike Factory pretty much as early as I could, and then just upgrading it as much as I can. And yeah, it turns out that wasn't really a great strategy. I don't even remember what round it was. It was probably before the Moab, but maybe it was after, I don't remember. That the balloons, it was a bunch of camo balloons that just wiped right through it. And even a couple of the other times I was using, or a couple of the other times I was attempting this, it was just a bunch of camo balloons that just walked right through my defenses, and it was so strange because I had a lot of camo detection at the time, and I don't know, it's weird. But so I'm going for the Monkey Sub with Advanced Intel because that technically gives it camo detection when the balloons are in the range of another tower that can detect camo balloons. Which is a really interesting feature. Unfortunately, the only tower that I have with camo detection is that one Monkey Apprentice near the beginning of the track. So I'm sure that when the Monkey Sub is firing at other balloons that are near it, like near the Monkey Apprentice, there might be balloons in the way, if that makes sense. Although, now that I think about it, if it's set to the first targeting, anytime the balloons get close to the Monkey Sub, that's technically first, so it would target those. That really wasn't a great idea on my part to put the Monkey Apprentice so close to the beginning. My initial plan was, if that's a Shimmer Monkey, or if I make it a Shimmer Monkey Apprentice and get rid of the camo detection, or camo ability of the balloons, then I would want it near the beginning of the track so the rest of the towers have more time to react to a non-camo balloon. Oh, also another thing that I had to deal with was I used a bunch of Monkey Apprentices on one of my other attempts, and then there was just like a wave of purple balloons that just shredded everything. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that was later this round or something. I don't remember. But the Monkey Sub is why I'm specifically, or the purple balloons are why I'm specifically trying to use the Sub. Because I need like an actual sharp attack rather than a magic attack to get past the purple balloons, which is a really interesting feature. Before this round, or this challenge, I didn't really think very much of the purple balloons because generally I had a well-rounded defense for the most part, especially with like ninja monkeys, so I never really worried too much about the purple balloons. But when you're down to just these few towers, they definitely make a difference. And when I first started this, I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'll just throw in one sub and that'll be nice. But like, oh hey, 2 fit in here. That makes sense. Yeah, I guess makes sense. And part of me always wants to use the barbed darts and the double gun or the triple gun or whatever, because then that'll make it a really good tower. It'll have good stats or whatever, but you kind of can't use both. I mean, you could, but then you give up advanced intel, which in my opinion is the sub's greatest feature, to essentially have the range of a sniper monkey, but have the attack speed of a regular tower. Which, I mean, no offense to the sniper monkey, it does get some pretty good popping power when you upgrade it, but the sub is just so much less expensive than a sniper, like a fully upgraded sniper. I mean, obviously, a fully upgraded sub is probably just as expensive, but plus, it's not even just pure sniper range. Oh, if having a regular sniper gave the advanced intel like total map coverage, that'd be awesome. Overpowered, sure, but it'd be awesome. Yeah, and these tunnels that I think that's this level, or logs, I guess, that this level is named after. I'm pretty sure even on easy you can't get rid of those, which makes sense because there was levels in like Bloons Stardust 5 and maybe even 4 where they had like those paths that the balloons go under and you can't attack them. So yeah, it totally makes sense that they can't get gotten rid of, if that makes sense. But it's just kind of interesting that they do block the like the range of like a sniper or something. And I mean, for the most part, if you just put your towers in the middle of the map and not like at the very edges, then that shouldn't really be an issue. And they set the map up pretty nicely for you to just place all your towers, or at least most of them, within the range of pretty much everything. But anyways, so now I've got 3 Monkey Sense apprentices because I want to get good map coverage so that the advanced intel can actually be more useful. Plus, you know, camo detection, of course. And I'm pretty sure I saved up enough for the armor piercing rounds to be able to take down the Moab, which is very useful, especially against a fortified Moab. I'm not sure if it does any extra damage to a fortified Moab. It doesn't say that it does, but I kind of feel like armor piercing should do extra damage to a fortified balloon of any sort. But it specifically does extra damage to Moabs. So anyways, see, and it's times like this where like I've got 2 subs like with lots of popping power. Like, why are those camo balloons having so much trouble, or why are they having trouble with those camo balloons? But anyways, I really like the wall of fire ability. It's more like a pit of fire, but it's nice, and I kind of feel like I have a tendency to like that kind of ability, like Oben with his forest and the bushes, and then the monkey apprentices with their walls of fire, the ninja monkey with the caltrops or whatever, the alchemist with the acid pool, like just throwing stuff on the ground and you know balloons going over that will die. It's nice. And because I have so many Monkey Sense apprentices, I actually decided to not use a shimmer monkey near the beginning of the map. Instead, I opted for a fire monkey. I don't remember what it's called, Dragon's Breath or something. Just that it has more popping power in general, because if I give it shimmer, then that's essentially an upgrade where it doesn't get better at popping things. Like the only tower that would have been affected by it is Oben, and he's not my main attack force anyways, so it didn't really feel worth it to give it a shimmer ability. Even though, like, in general, it's a good ability and it's useful, but it's one of those things that I mentioned before, like when you're spamming ninjas and you give it the camo countermeasure, then it's like, what's the point? But anyways, so now the rounds, or I feel like once you get past round 40, then the rounds ramp up, but it's more numerical rather than like typical, if that's the right word to use. Like, it doesn't get harder in kind. What was that? It was a phrase that like I heard Mark Brown use about like the change in kind or difficulty in kind, or I don't know. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But basically, it's just like a number value that's getting bigger. It's not like the type of balloons that you're facing are getting any more difficult. So once you get your all-around coverage, like you've got your Moab Buster, your Lead Buster, your Camo Defense, then it's just a matter of upgrading those things and making sure all of those things have more popping power. which sounds pretty basic, but I mean, once you get past round 40, then it feels like they just give you a lot more money, almost, in my opinion. Or at least right after round 40, it feels like there's a little bit of a boost. And again, I don't really like Druids, and I specifically am not that big of a fan of the Tornado ability, but because of how much trouble I was having with just large clumps of regular bloons, I figured throwing in a Tornado to help disperse it and give me more time to pop it would be a good idea. However, the Druid doesn't have camo detection, so it's really only useful against regular types of bloons, and then you can do a little bit of damage to Moabs or whatever. And I very quickly realized, hey, there's a lot of camo bloons, like, there's just all the camo bloons, it's crazy. And then of course, you know, a few Moabs, just to spice things up a little. And then since I figured I'm getting all this extra cash, I'm just gonna throw in another Monkey Apprentice, and this time, I'm gonna go for the Shimmer. Because then the Druid will be able to help out more, and that makes it a bit more worth it. Plus, then I get a Necromancer Monkey, and that's awesome. Again, probably like my favorite addition to Bloons Shadow Fence 6 is the Necromancer Monkey. It's even fun to say. But one totally random thing that just popped into my head is if any of you are interested, I can try to post like on Twitter or something, like when I'm recording it, when I'm recording an episode, and then if you guys want to like send in requests or something. Although now that I'm thinking about it, that doesn't really make any sense, because while I'm playing, or while I'm recording it, I don't see any of your requests, so there's no way for me to take that into effect unless I just ask you in advance, and then that's just like you asking, or you posting like in the comments of this video. Then I'll try to add in a request for the next episode in terms of like what towers I use or what map or anything. I don't think I'm ready for chimps yet. I'm not ready to try the hardest difficulty in the game. Partially because I only have that unlocked on like one map. Because I only did Impoppable on like one map. And I can try doing Impoppable on other maps, it's just first I have to get through all the alternate rounds. So that's probably going to be my first order of business. Daily challenge, if it's like an easy one that I can get through right away, then I'll probably just get that out of the way and then go for another hard alternate round. But in a case like this, where the daily challenge is hard alternate rounds, then I'll just do that and make that a video, and hopefully it's not one that I've already done, basically. Although, again, even if it is one I've already done, generally they should give me a different set of monkeys to use, so that'll spice things up a bit, I guess. But anyways, back to the video. I've got my 4 monkey subs with different, I was gonna say priorities, but that's not the right word. 2 of them are set on the middle path, just because I figured missiles are good, and near the beginning of the game, I needed some more lead popping, so that's why I needed the barbed darts, you know, the heat-tipped darts, or whatever they're called, red-hot darts or something. And then the other 2 have the armor piercing, because then they've just got more popping power in general because of the triple gun and whatnot. And then the armor piercing to specifically deal with Moabs better. And then I have 2 druids there. I don't think the second one is fully upgraded yet, but I've got them with the tornadoes and the lightning and the storms and all that. Just to help out with the regular bloons, even though I think the Necromancer Monkey's good at this point. But again, just some extra insurance. And then I've got some monkey knowledge that allows that like ball lightning storm thing, which is an actual thing, which is super awesome. You should totally look it up, like the ball lightning. It's an amazing, phenomenal natural effect, natural phenomenon or whatever. Anyways, I've got the monkey knowledge where that ability also has a chance to freeze the bloons that it hits, which is just another useful thing for them to do to deal with those regular bloons. And what else? I do have like a decent amount of monkey subs attacking. Well, I guess I can get into what I was about to say in a minute. Because I should be placing another monkey apprentice near the top. I don't remember when I start that. And there you go, trying to place it there. Because I want to make that monkey apprentice a anti-Moab, or an anti-Moab, by upgrading its first path up into Arcane Spike, which I think might be my preferred method of anti-Moab outside of the sub, you know, if there's no water or something. Because again, I don't really like the Moab maulers that much, and snipers are nice, but they are a bit expensive. Buccaneers, again, if there's no water, I wouldn't want to use it, and they kind of fall under the same category as the Moab mauler. Kind of. What other anti-Moab is there? The Alchemist. It's nice, but it's kind of difficult to tell its effectiveness. Like, I don't really see it hit the Moab with its potion because of all the stuff that's going on screen, and you don't really get an indication on the Moab unless you're using the unstable concoction or whatever. There is the Bloon Sabotage, not Bloon Sabotage, that's not what it's called. The Moab Sabotage or something, I don't know. That the Ninja Monkey has that throws bombs on the Moab and then blows them up or whatever. That is an interesting ability, and it's probably really good. But because I have to go through and upgrade the Flash Bomb and not get the Bloonjitsu Master, I kind of feel like it's a last resort type of thing, because I really like the Bloonjitsu Master on the Ninja Monkeys. I feel like they're probably a bit nerfed compared to Bloon Stardust 5. I'd have to like compare it, or like do a little comparison test on Sandbox mode or something. Because on Bloon Stardust 5, you could just spam like 5 Bloonjitsu Masters and then just like wreck everything, and it's amazing and I love it. However, I don't know if it's the same power level in this game. A lot of stuff got nerfed, like banana farms and the towers. Yeah, I'm reading up on the forums, and a lot of people are just complaining about the banana farms and trying to talk about ways to make them better. Also, I just realized I did not make an Arcane Spike Monkey. I placed down another Necromancer Monkey because... Oh, that's right. I was like, why did I do that? But because one Necromancer, or specifically one Shimmer Monkey, is pretty good, but I don't think it can catch every Camo Bloon. Like, if it's just a huge wave of them, I'm pretty sure the Shimmer doesn't catch every single one. So putting a second one in, even though they are pretty close, so I'm not sure if that really is the most effective way to do it, but putting a second one in general is just helpful to make sure that all the Bloons get decamouflaged. I was going to say decamouflaged, and remember flage, so camouflaged. Anyways, so now I'm throwing in an Arcane Spike Apprentice. However, it's already round 75, and because he's placed right there near the beginning, I feel like that probably wasn't the best spot. Like, I either should have swapped him for that second Necromancer Monkey, or I should have just placed him a little bit further down the track, just because I feel like, I don't know, like, he's so close to the beginning that he's not going to have a lot of the track in his range to be able to take down the Moabs. It's just, when you're dealing with Moabs, you want to take them down as early as possible, so that the rest of your towers have more time to react to all the ceramics that pop out of it. So, you know, that was my thinking on it, I guess. I am kind of glad that there's no DDTs or bads or anything before round 80, even on alternate rounds. Unless I completely missed it, and there are, which would be pretty funny. I mean, I know there's no bads because there's no way you can miss that, but it would be pretty hilarious if I just completely forgot that there was DDTs before round 80 on alternate rounds. But again, I don't think there is. Let's see. The trees, it's so hit or miss for me, like whether or not they're actually good and worth it. Like the forest that Oben makes, I know it's nice when they give you cash, but part of me kind of wishes that it just gave you the cash. You didn't have to like swipe your finger on it. But you know, that's probably just me asking for too much. Oh, on the topic of banana farms, I know that a lot of people are complaining about the efficiency of them and how like a 100 banana farm is like more efficient than any other form of the banana farm ever. And I kind of understand that. And I feel like that's especially true when you combine it with the Druid, because the Druid can be upgraded to have an ability to where it will gain 100 or give you 100 cash per banana farm within its radius. So if you just group like 3 or 4 Druids in the middle of like 8 banana farms, that's like 6,000 cash, I think, unless my math is really wrong, because it's like 4 times 100 times 8, That's 3,200? Yes, I don't know why I got 6,000 out of that, but so you can get like 3,000 per round if you fit like 8 banana farms all around 4 druids. And I don't know what the optimal like placement of that is, but you could probably fit more. So if you fit like 9 druids around like 8 farms, I don't know what their range is like, but hypothetically that's what, 72 or 7,200 cash per, not per round though, that's the big thing, is that it's per activated ability, which you could technically farm if you put like a bunch of ice towers or Moab or cripple Moab snipers and some Moab push boomerangs, or even probably some Moab shove helipilots, I think. You could probably use that to like stall the later rounds like this with just a bunch of Moab, well, 2 BFBs, and then use the activated ability a few more times. I was gonna say you could try like selling it and rebuying it, but I know they kind of nerfed that by making all the cooldowns start a little bit hot, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know what the right phrase for that would be, but all the activated abilities start with the need to cool down a bit, basically. So, as I said earlier, I'm finally using that Spike Factory near the end, because again, on the other attempt, I tried to use like well, not a bunch of them, but 1 or 2 like max upgraded at the beginning of the game, and that didn't work out very well. But now that I've got everything else pretty much max upgraded, I mean, yes, I could draw in the Phoenix and use that, but as the hypocrite in me already knows, I don't want to use the Phoenix because I don't want to rely on activated abilities, but I like Owen because I can constantly spam his bush of activated ability, so I really don't understand why I don't like using the Phoenix. It's just, I'm a complicated individual. And slightly hypocritical when it comes to Bloons Tower Defense and activated abilities. But anyways, I'm on round 80, and clearly it's not very difficult. It's just, what, 2 ZOMGs? That's nothing. Especially when you make it to round 80. By that time, you'd better be able to take down 2 ZOMGs. So yeah, I'm just waiting on that last one to pop. I'm probably not going to upload anything over the weekend, so this is probably going to be my last video of the week and of the month, because I think today's the last day of the month, unless tomorrow's not the first. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Oh wait, no, it's the 22nd. Of course, it's not the end of June. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.